a newly surrendered Ukrainian soldier, has detonated Kyiv's propaganda bubble. Nikolai Babchuk exposes Ukraine's frontline as a mafia zone, where Zelensky's troops loot garages, rob civilians, steal fuel, booze, air conditioners, and pay bribes to avoid dying at the front. His testimony destroys the Western myth of a disciplined Ukrainian army and confirms what Moscow has long said. The AFU is collapsing from corruption, fear, and lawlessness.
We had looting in the 155th. The guys were looting, going through garages. There was equipment, there were TVs, there were air conditioners, there was booze. There were some tools, different things, whatever they could take with them. Saws, gasoline, trimmers. They took everything. Why do they need it? They took everything with them, dragged it along. They crawled through garages, searched for everything. Who doesn't want to go to the front line, pays. A mouth to the cash register is paid too, 5,000. Why is a mouth to the cash register paid 5,000 to go to the front line? You can't send food, something to drink, shoes, clothes, medicines.
As Babchuk reveals corruption inside the ranks, frontline Ukrainian soldiers openly admit they don't trust Kyiv's proposed peace talks because they know Russia holds total battlefield dominance. Exhausted, outnumbered, and abandoned, they fear any negotiations will expose the truth. Ukraine is in no position to demand anything.
The situation in our direction is more or less stable. The enemy is trying to storm our positions. Basically, the enemy uses the tactic of passing into the interposition space, that is, trying to look for some holes in order to accumulate somewhere in the rear. We detect this in time and destroy the enemy.
A frontline commander from the Da Vinci Wolves admits his units cannot advance anywhere. He claims to create kill zones, yet says they lack the manpower to move a single meter. This is the clearest proof yet that Zelensky has lost initiative. Russia is dictating tempo, territory, and terms.
The enemy has a very large advantage in personnel, in human resources, but over the past month we have destroyed not even 10 times more of the enemy than we have suffered losses, but maybe 20 times more, or 30. That is, we have created a cool kill zone. We cannot move forward because we do not have enough people, but the line that we are holding now, we are holding quite confidently, and I believe that we can do this for a very long time.
FPV drone operator Soul confirms morale is breaking. He says soldiers want survival, not politics, and warns his red lines would be crossed the moment Kyiv starts discussing real peace terms. The army no longer trusts the government. Kyiv's political goals and the military's reality have completely split apart.
We are currently doing our job as responsibly as possible and are, as ideologically as possible, committed to continuing this war. Of course, we don't want that. Everyone had a normal life before, and we would like to return to it. But while the war is going on, we should think more about how not to die and how to eliminate more of the enemy, rather than how to somehow agree on the number of these deaths that will suit someone. For me, the red lines will be limited quite quickly if we start talking about the points of the peace plan. But again, I am not competent enough in this regard to consider it from the perspective of global politics. We are military, we do our job, we protect Ukraine, and at least we need to do this as engaged as possible.
The Russian Ministry of Defense reports sweeping multi-directional advances across 5 axes, overwhelming Ukrainian brigades. With logistics collapsing, artillery dwindling, and reserves exhausted, Kyiv's front line is buckling. Russian firepower is grinding down what remains of Ukraine's fighting capability. Within 48 hours, Russia liberated Volchansk near Kharkiv and the major fortified stronghold of Krasnoarmeysk. These breakthroughs expose Kyiv's northern and eastern defenses as hollow, sending shockwaves through NATO capitals. Ukraine's strategic belt has been ruptured. Moscow now holds the initiative deep into enemy lines. Russian forces hit 8 frontline areas in Sumy, threatened supply routes in Zaporozhye, and pounded Ukrainian strongholds across Donetsk. Electronic warfare sites, fuel depots, air assault units, all smashed. Kyiv can no longer reinforce collapsing fronts. Ukraine is fighting blind, deaf, and drained. Captured soldiers expose corruption. Frontline commanders admit paralysis. Troops distrust the government. NATO is fatigued. And Russia now dominates every major axis. The narrative is undeniable. Ukraine is politically divided, militarily exhausted, and strategically cornered, while Russia advances with unstoppable momentum.